Hey you guys, this is Haley from LoveLeys Hair, and I'm back with another video to show you how I create a protective style. I am going to start with my Q-Redew handy steamer. I'm starting with that first and foremost to break up these dry ends. It softens my hair and it prevents tangles. So if your natural hair is dry, this is a must-have for just everyday styling, because as we know, although we may moisturize through the day and going outside, especially in this winter season that I'm in, my ends get extremely dry. So yes, using a Q-Redew hair steamer is the first step to most of my protective styles. So now that my hair is stretched and it feels a lot more moisturized, I am going to go ahead and get ready to start my style. So I'm going to start with a base part. You don't have to do this exact part. You can do a middle part. But for me, I like to have something veering off to the side. This base part is going to be for our two main twists that are in this hairstyle. So just imagine that you're parting your hair to basically do two twists going backwards or two cornrows going backwards. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm doing like a curved part, and then as I get towards the middle, I am going to take it straight back just to level out the sides of my hair. So now that you have your hair sectioned and you know your part is what you want, you go ahead and section one side out of the way, because you do not want to fight with hairs getting in the way of you braiding. So now that I'm done that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the other side, and I'm going to create my part in the front. Now this part is going to be basically like a crown or frame for your braids. So it can be thicker or thinner than the part that I'm creating, but for my section I really want it to be just above my ears up into basically where that main part is. So as you can see, I'm parting just to behind my ears and connecting it to the top of where that base part is that I created first. So we go ahead and section off that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes I go over my parts too many times, so I go ahead and section that off, and now I create my parting for my first braid. Now, just a disclaimer, I'm doing cornrows. You could do flat twists, but for me, I'm going to do a cornrow for this first braid that I am doing. So now that I have the part how I want it, I'm going to section off the excess hair so it's not going to be in my way as I'm trying to braid. And I'm going to use my main choice type 4 leave-in spray prior to braiding. This will just help me to detangle that section so my hair doesn't feel like it's snapping and breaking. And I'm also going to use a Design Essentials Coconut Monoi moisture mask to lock in the moisture that basically was created once I detangled. So I'm going to also apply edge controls to smooth my hairline, because no one likes to see like little fuzzies at the front of your braids. So I'm using that edge control. This edge control I actually got from the hair store. It works well and it smells amazing. I've never seen it before. I got it this time, so it's just good. I really like it. It holds down and it doesn't have buildup. But basically, once I go ahead and add that to my edges, it's time to start braiding. So I go ahead and start my cornrow, but I'm hoping that you seeing me cornrow kind of gives you an idea of how I do my cornrows. Some people are overhand. I'm doing a pinching method underhand. So I hope that you can kind of get an idea or a grasp of how to do a tight flat cornrow from seeing that up close shot. It is something that practice makes perfect. No one does a great cornrow at first, and to be very honest, they don't have to be perfect. Enough for you to see the part and for it to be flat. That's all that truly matters. I don't even think perfection is trendy these days. But anywho, once you're done that braid, you're basically gonna move on to the next section and create your next braid or twist. For me, I'm doing a cornrow and then a twist. I'm alternating them just because I just wanted to do something a little bit fun to make the style a little bit more unique. But you go ahead and repeat your steps for detangling and moisturizing and do whichever you like. You can do a cornrow or you can do another twist like I'm doing. It's truly up to you. Just make sure your hair is moisturized before you braid. This will prevent any unnecessary snapping or breakage and make sure your hair is just moisturized under this protective style, so when you take your hair out, it won't feel brittle. But yeah, we're basically gonna go ahead and continue this process. As you can see, I did a flat twist here and I clipped it out of my way. So basically you go ahead and continue those steps and continue to braid. I'm speeding way past this because it's only what I've done before. It's familiar, so definitely throughout the video I am going to show you another close-up of how I braid in a little slower speed, just so you can get a grasp of my braiding technique, just in case you need a little bit of help in that area. So for this last section of this side, we're going to start with a twist and connect the whole section. So basically, the last little, I guess you could call a slice, I'm going to do a flat twist and connect each braid with that flat twist. And I'm also going to be connecting the hair on that side that is out and just continuing to twist. This may take a little longer because you don't want to rip through your hair, and it is a large section, so it's going to take a lot of control to make sure it looks smooth and doesn't look all lumpy and bumpy and out of whack. The biggest advice I could give you with this is just making sure that you're adding moisture cream as you go to prevent breakage. Now with natural hair, especially when you have thicker, kinkier hair like mine, moisture is your best friend to preventing breakage and just making it a smoother process when it comes to braiding and twisting. I do add a healthy amount of moisture cream just to make sure like my hair isn't like ripping as I'm trying to twist it, but it's smoothly going down and not causing me any fight. As you can see, my twist still has some residue on it, but definitely it will dry. Once your end is secure, or your ends are secure, you move on to the next section. So now that that's done, I'm moving on to my opposite side, fluffing that out to get ready for the braid, and then I go ahead and start that same kind of sectioning. My words are just slurred. Please excuse me. I start that same kind of sectioning where I'm creating that slice in the front that's kind of going to be like the crown or frame of these twists, and then I go ahead and start to braid. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my braided sections are going in the direction that I want them to fall. So since this twist is going off to the side, I want my braids to kind of have a slight slant to it, so it kind of flows with the braid and doesn't look like they're disconnected, like two different styles. And I repeat the same process as far as moisturizing and then adding edge control to smooth down my crazy little baby hairs, and then I start to braid. So this close-up shot should be a little bit more detailed. It's a little slower, so you can kind of see as I grab each strand and kind of pull the other as I go, always making sure that the opposite section isn't coming into my braid and making sure that I have a smooth surface. I'm definitely one to smooth the hair down as I go, just to make sure it looks neat and it doesn't look frizzy. So basically that's how I do my braids. It's nothing extremely special, but I do take my time in making sure it does look as smooth and tame as possible, and making sure that my sections are clean, because I just like it to look neat. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if it's neat, it looks a lot better. So partings are a major key to make sure you look neat. So basically, once you have your neat braids, you go ahead and continue those braids or twists around that whole front section, just as we did on the opposite side, repeating the steps of spraying your leave-in to detangle and then locking in with the moisture cream and putting a little edge control at the root or at the front of your hairline to make sure it lays smoothly. I'm always going to do a curved part just because I feel like it's more feminine. I don't like straight back parts, just to be very honest, on me, like with no curve at all. Could you see how my braids are kind of curving towards the front? To me, that just gives it a more feminine look. I feel like if it's straight back, I just feel really plain and kind of boyish. So yeah, we just go ahead and finish those braids. That's just a little food for thought on why I do the braids I do. But yeah, we just go ahead and finish up these braids. Definitely going ahead and making sure we're doing the same thing as far as creating the last one as a twist and connecting the braids that we created with the back section and taking it all the way down and applying moisture as we go. So same exact process. I just want to make sure you guys see it sped up to know it happened. But once your ends are sealed, you pin the ends into the twist. So I'm going to actually give you guys a close look on how I do it. I take the end of the twist, I actually wrap it up and back down. So basically you can see I'm wrapping the end around my pin and then I'm pushing the bobby pin down into the twist. So if you can see, like, the bottom tried to poke out, I pick it up and push it right back into the twist, so it's within the middle of the twist, because to me that's what's going to make sure it doesn't fall out and it doesn't slip. If it's in the very middle of the twist, then you are fine. And I'm going to add one more extra pin for good luck, just to make sure these do not pop out, because that wouldn't be cute. But yeah, that makes sure it twists secure when you pin it inside of the twist itself. So we're tightly secured and we are done. That's a nice side shot of my look, and that's the back to the front. And I'm also going to spin side to side so you guys can see how it looks. I think it's good. You know, it's definitely something easy and quick that's going to keep your hands out of your hair, where you don't have to worry about what to do with your hair that day, at least for a good week if you like. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, this is Haley of LoveLeys Hair. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Love you guys.